Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Daryl Ford. This is the day the Lord has made. You know what we're going to do. You already know. We rejoice and we're glad in it. This is the Spotlight, where we come to you on a regular, recurring basis, bringing you sights, sounds, information, interviews, and some of the best folks this side of heaven. And I happen to be in the company of some of the best folks this side of heaven. For any of you who are gospel music devotees, you know that the evolution of gospel has taken place over the last several decades. When I came along, it was piano, organ, drums. That was it. So I'm at New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ, 7361 Linwood Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, where Pastor Bishop W.A. Patterson back then, and young man Dennis Walker. He was a real good close friend of mine. He was directing the choir. I was playing the keys. And he said, man, you got to hear this group. You got to hear this group. I'm in. And I had never heard of them. So they were coming to New Jerusalem to be in concert. And I want to set this up right. Okay. So you all remember The Wizard of Oz. I'm talking about the original 1939 Wizard of Oz, right? So it started in black and white. How many of y'all remember that? Maybe y'all don't remember that. But it started out, Brother Kern, in black and white. And it stayed in black and white until Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow could see Oz. They were still on the yellow brick road, but they could see Oz, right? And when they cut to the picture of Oz, the camera moved from black and white to Technicolor. And they walked and they skipped on down to Oz. Well, that Sunday afternoon, when I sat down in the audience and y'all started playing, I'm talking about Kern Brantley, Eric Bryce, Mike E might have been on the set, but I know Kern and Eric were there with Thomas Whitfield. Yeah. The music in my mind went from black and white to color. Because, and y'all started playing a little interlude, you know, to set that mood. And in my mind, it was like the interlude, the Oh Hallelujah. You know, that, and I'm saying to myself, this ain't what I've been hearing. This is like I'm listening to WJZZ, because WJZZ was the jazz station back in the day. It was like I'm listening to JZZ in church. And what made it different for me, it's just for me, because I've been hearing, now I'm gonna name some names, some of y'all don't remember, Ronnie Kersey and those cats that was playing the organ and the piano, but that was all I was hearing. But when I started hearing this right here, the lead and the rhythm and the bass, I'm like, oh no, this is Technicolor right here. This ain't black and white no more. And the fellas, I saw that mic. I hope that wasn't on purpose.
What was that?
It was 3 fingers minus 1, but that's okay. We'll keep it moving.
Hey.
But the difference that you gentlemen made, and I'm going to give you your formal introductions, made a difference in my life because you brought color to the palette that I had only been hearing in black and white. So let me introduce you all now. To my right is a young man who's coming all the way from China. He's in China on tour, and he has toured with some of everybody who's anybody in the gospel game. As a matter of fact, across the board. His name is Kern Brantley, whether it's secular, Christian, country, or hand signing for the deaf. Kern has been on the set. And the same thing for, I call him E-flat, his name is Eric Bryce, And I think one of the last times I talked to Eric, he was getting ready to do something with Patti LaBelle. So and these are fellows who started right here in the city of Detroit. This is Eric Bryce. I call him E flat because E-B. I don't know how to explain it, but he is one of the signature sounds. And then there's Mike E. And what can we say about Mike E? He's exploded to so many other genres now until I think he needs another initial on the back of his name, Mike EZ. He's in the house. And I thought that it was only befitting, gentlemen, for us to spotlight you because y'all the ones most time back in the day be on stage in black. You know, a musician know that's your uniform. Come in black. And don't get no.
I didn't find out why that was till later on.
Tell us why. Fill us in, Doc.
Well, you play for Dottie People. She got a dress on. You got to plug in. You know what I'm saying? She looked like Las Vegas walking around, and we in black, and so we blended. They never wanted to know. They didn't care who was playing. You know.
And that's and that's my point. My point is when I sat there, and the thing about like Kern, we were talking earlier. This is my wife. Hey baby, I'm gonna have to call you back. Let me call you back. But I love you.
I love it.
Okay, bye. Yeah, she on the road. She making money, so I can't stop that.
Yeah.
So So when I heard the integration of the next level, talk to me, Eric. Talk to me about that experience because you were no more than 16, 17 years old. Talk to me about how you came to start playing with Whitfield. We're gonna give Whitfield at least 10 minutes of shine right quick, okay?
Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, I was a little bit older than that, but I met both Rudy Stanfield and
Yes.
Thomas Whitfield. I met them both through Kern. I met them both through Kern, and I heard about it. I saw them cutting records, and we have another buddy. I had to shout out Jeff Stanton.
Oh, absolutely.
Jeff was the guy who played the Things in Which We Believe, Volume 1 and 2, and Jeff was a Mumford classmate of mine, right? And I went to rehearsal with Jeff and Kern, and Jeff went to the restroom. He sat his guitar and went down to the restroom, and I grabbed his guitar. And Tommy said,
Opportunist.
he said, yeah, I'm a total opportunist. Who's that? And he's like, man, give me your number. And he actually called, but I might have been about 19, 20, maybe.
So how long had you been playing? And were you just playing at home or?
Oh, no. Well, no, I've been playing for some years. I've played, 6 or 7 years or so. I started when I was like 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
And and I playing at church. I started playing at church, but I wasn't that quartet guy. I was really a funk guy. I was following Kern around. Kern had a band called The Eyes of Time, and I joined that band.
Yep.
And I was really a funkadelic type of guy. I wanted to be, P-Funk. But God had other plans.
Yeah, he did. So Kern, so you were the one who pulled Eric into the game. How did you get in the game?
Yeah. Wow, I was actually looking for a job, and I'm going in the newspaper. I'm trying to find a job, and I said I need a job, and I'm looking at all these different jobs, TV and automobile and telephone repair, and then I saw something said theater, and I said, well, the closest I'm gonna get to music is theater. So Thomas Whitfield was the musical director at North what's that place by your house, Eric?
Northwest Activity Center, yeah.
Yeah, Northwest
Yep.
Activity Center.
And they were doing a play. It was with Reverend Tommy Butler.
Yeah.
And Tommy was the musical director. So I said, well, the closest I'm going to get to music is theater. So I applied for a job at the theater. And Tommy was the musical director. So one day we were on stage because they had me acting. I was on stage and I was learning acting and all this kind of stuff. I looked down in the orchestra pit and I saw Tommy and Jerome Joe, and they were down there. And I said, look, I'm really a musician. So then Tommy was like, "Oh, well, if you can play, bring your amp to work tomorrow, and we'll see." I came in there with a stack this big, a custom stack, and set up right in Thomas Whitfield's office, and started playing for him. Man, next thing I know, he was like, "Hey, I want you to come to rehearsal," and he took me to the first Thomas Whitfield Company rehearsal, and then that's how I hooked up with Tommy, and then I started playing for the company at that point.
Cool. Mike, what's your story?
Man, my story is I had an ally that was Tommy's right hand, which was my brother Earl.
Yeah.
And he was playing with Tommy already, and Tommy I think they needed a place to rehearse, just the musicians, and Earl said that he could rehearse at the church, and so I just was like, man, can I just like sit in? I don't, they won't pay attention in that stuff. And Tommy, I played the first song, and because I was dyslexic in school, nobody really knew that back then. So I had an ear where I could like hear something once and play it. And Tommy looked around off the organ and was like, wow. And now Tommy was my first, what I would call professional gig though. I was scared to death. And you don't start out playing with Tommy Whitfield, you know what I'm saying? Without being in a bunch of little startup groups before, So Tommy asked me to go out of town with, tell Earl to bring me out of town with them. And I couldn't sleep, man. I was nervous, excited, polishing my guitar the night before and everything, because I thought I just couldn't believe that I had an opportunity to finally play in front of people that didn't go to my dad's church, because I was playing at my dad's church, like regular, you know what I mean? But nobody, they gonna be in your corner no matter what. So, and Tommy was like, I was hearing these chords, cause see, I went and saw Journeyman when I was 16. So, and they didn't have they had a keyboard player, but the guitars were like, oh my God, like I heard them from heaven, and I snuck into the sound check. And I heard Neil Schon doing his sound check, and I had never heard nothing like that before. So I got bit by that side of the bug early at the beginning, basically. So I would play like that in church. I remember I played the Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound, the hymn, but I played it without Earl, a cappella, and I turned it up, and I was putting my guitar in the amp and all kind of stuff. And they thought that my guitar had this sound from heaven because it didn't sound like anybody else's guitar. And the church mothers was like, let me play the way I wanted to play, and my mother. So that's why I stayed in church. I didn't have to go nowhere to be able to do what I did. And then I met Kern and Eric, and that was a whole nother window. Like you said, that was my Technicolor, because I'm like.
And I want to zero in on that. I want to zero in on that because I don't think I'm the only person whose musical palette was expanded because of the Whitfield sound. Right. As musicians, Kern, you first, then you, E flat. Talk to me about what that Whitfield sound did for your musical palette.
Well, for me, and I still use it to this day, he taught me discipline.
Man.
And how to leave space. If you listen to any of those early Whitfield records, the bass is not running and licking and popping through the hole. He's like when we do like Hallelujah Anyhow or Wrapped Up, Tied Up, Tangled Up or Peace Be Still. The bass is like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And he'll look at me. If I start doing too much, he'll look at me like, whoop. He'll let me I'll sneak one in every now and then.
He'll give you that eye. He would give you that eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he ain't looking, I'll try to sneak one in, and if he let me get away with it, cool. But if it's not, so I just learned discipline. I learned how to play pocket. Most recently, I had an opportunity to work with David Foster.
Wow.
And David Foster asked me, he said, how do you know how to play these big ballads because we was doing the Bodyguard soundtrack. We was doing all this stuff, and he said, "How you know how to?" I said, "I learned that from Thomas Whitfield. You ever heard of Thomas Whitfield?"
Wow.
And I said how to. So Tommy taught me how to just anchor that note and stay there instead of trying to be, Chick Corea and play a million notes.
Man,
All those songs. I to this day, even here in China, I anchor the note and I just sit on it and just let it go. But then I always have a little slight delay when I drop it. When I drop that low B, I'll pull it back and boom.
Yes, sir.
Drop it on you. And that's all Whitfield. That's all Whitfield sound.
yeah.
As far as the bass.
Got it. So Eric, one thing that I admire about you and Mike, to Kern's point, was how tasty your placement always was. And I'm talking about both of you, but I'm talking to you, Eric, at this particular juncture. Was that taught, or was it inspiration, or was it a combination of both?
It was taught, it was inspiration, but basically it was really common sense. It was common sense that you didn't get in Thomas's way.
No,
Musically, you didn't get in his way. I like to play space, and I figured out early on he liked soulful guitar.
Yeah.
He really liked bluesy guitar. He liked it to be a voice. He didn't really care too much about band, so to speak. Now you get a crew, you get a squad, and it's tight. But Thomas actually told us one time, I want 4 guys playing 4 different instruments, the same song, but I don't want a band sound.
Wow. What did that mean to you when he said he did?
I followed him. I followed him 100.
Yeah.
I followed him 100, made sure my guitar was in tune, and I get on Kern's nerves. I made sure I played in time, and I get on Jerome's nerves, and I would just wait my turn. Early on, I would play behind the singers. You listening to the singers, I may mirror or echo something someone sang, and then I played a lot of effects. I play a whole lot of effects, stuff that I wanted, a sound that you never heard before. I started using a delay a lot. You remember that, Mike? I used to use a delay, and I just something out in the space, and it became a part of Tommy's sound.
Yeah.
What is the next? What? Go ahead, Mike.
I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to add on to Kern, because Tommy had another. Tommy's thing was like Kern said, play where I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right.
And his chord structures left those holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether he did it on purpose or not, he left those holes to be filled, and he wanted them to be filled. But another thing about Tommy Kern, Eric, you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
We would have to call each other and be like, "You going this week? I don't know, man. You going this week? Did Tommy call you? Did Tommy call you?" Because Tommy didn't want us to be left out, but because he didn't want that big band sound, he never took us both at the same time.
No, same time.
Was there any rivalry?
No. Are you kidding? We built each other up because me and Eric started working like crazy. And I'd be like, "Man, Tommy called me. I'm going to go with him. So can you do that Clark Sister gig?" Yeah. You know what I mean? And we just started rotating the gigs as the guitar players in Detroit, But Tommy was giving us both an opportunity to grow at the same time.
Yeah,
so Tommy didn't let us have a rivalry. He was like, you guys are brothers.
So is there any legitimacy to the idea that there is a Detroit sound?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Because people on the West Coast, people down south, people in New York, like I got a chance to, my whole career is based on what Tommy taught me. And when I go to New York, they always talk about the Whitfield sound. People like Gerald Haywood. And then when I go to Chicago, my boy Luke Austin, they would all talk about Whitfield. When I go to the West Coast, Andrew Goucher, they all talk about, and the late Joe Smith, talk about the Whitfield sound. And even in Houston, Texas. So we established, because of the discipline that Tommy taught us, we established a certain sound that nobody else in the country had.
Exactly.
And that sound has pretty much taken over the country. for a period of time anyway.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody say the other day that choir music is dead, and I don't want to stay on this too long. But there was an announcement made by this guy. I really don't know him that well, if y'all know who I'm talking about. But I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Is gospel music, is choir music
Man.
dead?
Ask Ty Tribbett.
Yeah.
You
I'm getting ready to do a concert with 100-voice choir, full orchestra, with pipe organ and stained glass.
I got one Saturday.
I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right.
All right.
It's different, it's fuller, but it ain't nowhere near.
I want you all to give me final thoughts in a 30-second clip on Thomas Whitfield, and then we're gonna switch to some other topics. Mike.
Okay, well, I would just definitely like to say thank Whitfield, the Whitfield family, for accepting me, a kid from the East Side. He didn't have to give me that break. My whole, like Tommy, he introduced me to Marvelous Winans. He introduced me to Twinkie Clark.
Wow.
He introduced me to publishing. I didn't know what publishing was. He showed me how to get paid. He showed me, you wrote that song, you own that publishing. He showed me how to fill out the paperwork. I have 100% publishing on one of the Winans songs, 100% writers and 100% publishing, because Thomas Whitfield taught me the music business as well as how to play. But he said, but this is how you get paid. Like, I mean, I just owe my whole career. I met Aretha Franklin because Tommy. Aretha, she didn't want a bass player. She wanted just organ, piano, and drums. Tommy said, come anyway. Yep. I was scared. I was like Mike. I was sitting in the corner like, oh, she gonna throw me out of here. I'm sitting over there. I'm just be quiet. I started playing and she walked up to me and she said, she looked at me and she's like, you can stay. Yeah. And that's how I got on. That's how I got on One Lord, One Faith, One Baptist.
Wow.
She told Tommy, I don't want no guitars, no bass. I just want the traditional 3-piece and a biscuit. And I was like, yep. And that's how I got to work with the Queen of Soul. Thanks to him. Everybody I got through Tommy.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that roster in a minute. Mike, give us a 30-second reflection.
Same situation. I have to thank Tommy, and I owe Tommy, and we all know that. But when I started playing with Tremaine, you talk about the Detroit sound. They let me know that it was a difference because I'm sorry about that. Back then, it was the rhythm. Tommy believed in a song breathing. He didn't believe in loops and click tracks and stuff like that. He wanted his stuff to breathe, and that was the secret to a lot of his sound was the song breathing, because out west they was like super tight, super professional, they thought, and that kind of thing. But yeah, Tommy was, man, he's so influential in our careers. I don't know about nobody else, but I'd say this. I'm gonna go on record and say this. It needs to be said. Tommy is the Detroit sound for musicians.
Amen.
You know, Virgil Hill down here in Nashville, all these cats in Nashville, they find out, they know that we did the Tommy Whitfield stuff, and they ask me questions about Tommy and Earl and Rudy all day long. Well,
let me jump in real quick, because we've mentioned this name. I've heard it about 5 times in this interview, and that's the name of my friend, the late Bishop Earl J. Wright Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The first and Eric, I'm gonna get to you, but Mike, we got to throw some shine on your brother, because he was Mike, please. He was so innovative. I mean, I learned from listening to your brother. And one of the questions that I have for you before we go to Eric, I don't understand. Did you guys ever have a group? Did you, Marvy and Earl, ever do anything together? And if so, why the heck not? So for those of you that don't know, Marvy Wright is Mike Wright's sister. She was one of the principal staple foundations of the supergroup Witness.
Yeah.
So how come y'all ain't do something together? What's up?
Man, people, musicians ask me that all the time, and they tell me like I don't know. Man, you lived actually with Earl Wright. That's your brother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, he is. Like he ain't Earl. He ain't my brother to me. You know what I mean? Because he was such a phenomenal musician, man. You guys know how he sounded in public, but some of the stuff Earl used to play on his own was just mind-boggling. It was genius.
So why didn't y'all do something together?
Daryl, that's a whole nother show for a whole nother time.
You know what? But you know what? I'm gonna have our executive producer work on something. We're gonna do it AI. How about that? We're gonna pull it together.
That's
AI.
what I'm gonna do.
We're gonna pull that band together. AI.
Yeah, because I mean, Earl was just Earl.
Earl was incredible, and he was so low key. He was so low key. He would do something on the keys that would just cause you to flip over, and he's just sitting up there like.
I approached him.
Yeah, I ain't done nothing.
When I got my record deal, I approached him about it, and I wanted to put him over the band, and then we were talking about doing a group because we had the perfect name. I mean, we got the right sound.
Right.
It was right.
Right. So Eric, give me your 30-second Thomas Whitfield memory, and then we're gonna explode this conversation. It's gonna go to a whole nother level.
Well, I'll just say I'm gonna echo what Kern and Mike said. Without Thomas, my career would be nothing, man. And one of the main things that he said to me when he saw, the company was like a movement, and it was a prestigious movement. Everybody couldn't just come join the company.
Exactly.
He just wasn't getting in. And Thomas pulled me to the side. I started getting all this notoriety. They just felt like if they got me or they got Kern, they were going to get part of the Whitfield sound. And it was like, nah, it don't really work like that. But they would. So Tom put me aside. He said, yo, Eric, man. He said, yeah, don't be too common. And I didn't know what that meant. I said, what you mean? He said, man, they're going to be pulling at you left and right. You can't take everything. Don't do everything. Then you can't be associated. He said, you can't be associated with everybody. Until this day, I am picky about who I work with.
Yeah. Can I say something too, as relates to your son, who is a mega musician?
Yeah.
You got to throw some shine on your boy.
Oh, that's Evan Bryce. Evan Bryce. Google him.
He the man.
Google Evan
That's
Bryce.
Nephew right there, boy.
Yeah, I need a half an hour to talk about him. Just introduction.
Yeah.
He's out right now, and he's over in Sydney with Kurt Franklin.
Wow.
Yeah, he's over. He's in Australia doing this thing. And I'm very proud of him.
And he's a graduate of the Harvard University of Music Schools.
Yeah. Well, he graduated like all the rest of them. If you're really, really good, he went to Berkeley. If you're really, really good at Berkeley, you stay about a year.
Yeah.
And before the year is out, somebody grabs you up. And you take off. And if you ain't got nothing to do, you'll go back and finish and get the degree.
Well, he's beyond really, really good. He's a prodigy. And he got it honest. He got it honest. And here's the thing. In the spiritual context, Solomon took what David did to the next level.
Right.
And generationally, that's what is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And did you? I want to get off of this, but I can't help it because he's such a fantastic musician. Did he sit up under you? Obviously, he must have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was. I didn't see it coming the way he was coming, but it was my expectation that he would be great. Evan's always been. He's always had what I call big ears. He hears everything, and Daryl. I'm here in North Carolina. And I for about 6 or 7 years, this is gonna crack you up. I was the minister of music at a church on keys.
Wow.
And I played keys for about 6 or 7 years. I actually kind of taught choir the whole 9 yards. And,
wow.
And I had a little drummer on my drummer would not let Evan play.
What?
And Evan said, "Cool, Dad, I'll just go sit up on this organ over here." And I was like, "Cool." And the first lady said, she called him Evans. She said, "You listening to Evans?" I said, well, he's over there on the other side. She said, you really need to come over here and hear what he's playing. And when I went over there to hear what he was playing, the next day I took that organ and moved it over next to me, and I watched him.
And,
Yeah.
and the rest is history.
And
Man.
the rest is history.
Yeah,
But he had it.
Speaking about Evan, one thing, Eric, I don't know if Mike know about this, but my brother Valdez took Evan
Man.
on the road with Usher.
Sure did.
Yeah, for
Sure
years.
did.
And Kurt,
And that
Kurt,
that changed Evan's whole
Kurt, you skipping ahead.
Man.
synthesizer.
You skipping ahead. But
Hey.
since we're there, what I wanted, so Kurt, we're gonna start with you in that story, but I want each one of you to give us some of the artists that you've played with or that you've led the band for, music director, MD, that everybody knows. Kurt, we can start with that story.
But you pronounce my name.
Oh my goodness.
Majule, but you pronounce.
What? It started back with Tommy. I got a phone call. Okay, so Tommy introduced me to Marvin Winans. I'm gonna do this real quick. Tommy introduced me to Marvin Winans. And he said, this is my bass player. Don't steal him. Don't take it. Marvin sold me anyway. So we wound up recording. Tommy was recording a song by Elton John. Don't let the sun
Go down on me. Right.
On me. So he took me up to the Winans studio. He said, this is my bass player. You need to hear him. Next thing I know, I'm on the album. I'm playing Millions Didn't Make It. I'm on all of these records. I'm on about 50 records because of Tommy. So
Yeah.
at that point, Tommy, the Winans, we go to Apollo. We go to Apollo. We're doing Apollo. We meet. They do a song called It's Time to Make That Change with Teddy Riley and
Teddy
Guy.
Riley, right.
That hygiene.
After the concert, Teddy Riley comes up to me and say, yo, I need all of y'all. I'm sorry, I need that whole Winans band. I want Dana, I want you, I want Skip, Percy, all
Dana
y'all.
Davis.
Yep. But nobody wanted to go. They was like, no. I was like, wait a minute, Teddy Riley, hold up, let me check this out. Michael Jackson, blah, blah. I'm out.
Exactly.
No, but so I go back to Tommy because now it's a conflict. They saying we don't want y'all to go. You know, between gospel musicians going secular. That conversation comes up.
We want to have that conversation too. We want to have that conversation. But give me.
I go to Tom.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I go to Tommy and I said, Tommy, this is the situation. Teddy Riley is blowing my phone up. He want me to fly to New York and join the band Guy. Peanut and them is telling me, nah. Tommy said one word, go. And that's all I needed to hear.
Yep.
So that's how the ball started right there. He said, go.
Okay, give me 5 names that everybody know that you've worked with.
Okay, I'll just do, Lady Gaga.
Wow.
Beyonce. Mary J. Blige. David Foster.
Woo! That's my dude.
And let me see, who else? It's a couple names I can't mention, so I ain't going to mention their names. I'll just say Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. So we're going to go around the table and do that same thing. And then we're going to dive into the secular conversation versus the gospel. And we only got about 15 minutes left. So Mike, throw some names at us.
Well, I y'all know the names that are common, the BB and CCs and the Winans and all of that stuff. But I'm gonna fast forward a while because this is when my career took off in a different direction. When I signed my record deal with Reunion, they asked me, do I think I can play rock music in an arena? And I said, I immediately started thanking God, and they didn't know why, but I have been playing along with Journey Records and going to see Journey concerts since I was 16. And when my mom wanted me to go to Cass, and I went, and Greg Fillingames and Earl Klugh were seniors when I got to Cass. You know what I'm saying? So it was a place to get a start. But I was dyslexic, man, and they didn't know I wasn't reading. I made it all the way to the Detroit Junior Symphony Orchestra, not reading at all, and got caught because he told me to play from letter C, and I started at letter D because I was playing it from memory. and the conductor pulled me in. But when I got with Michael W. Smith and did that first arena tour with him, That went from there to Amy and to Outkast and to Sheila and to just a lot.
Wait, stop, Mike. You can't be throwing those first names out there like we know. You got to give us them names. Give us
Sheila
them names,
man. Sheila E. Did some gigs with Sheila E.
And Amy who?
Amy Grant. I'm sorry. Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith.
Wow.
And I did a run in
all heavy hitters. Let's stop right there. All number one
commission.
Heavy
commission
on the Christian field. And in that way. And commission, I give them some shout out to. And you know, just I've been blessed, man, to just because Tremaine taught me a secret. That is never say no matter what. She said if you ain't never done it before, if you ain't never played it before, if you ain't never singing it, when they ask you can you do the gig, always say yes and make them sing you home.
That's exactly how I got in radio. I was doing a little pub and Eric, you're next, but I got to throw this in there because you made a great point, Mike. I was doing a little public service show because Thomas Whitfield heard a cassette tape that I did because I was just fooling around with a turntable and a cassette player. And he said, he never pronounced my name right. He said, Durrell, that sounds good. You got to do something with that. You got to do something with that. So y'all remember Tim Smith, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Tim was working.
Tim had the radio show, of course.
He was working at He was working at WDTR, public radio station in Detroit, where you could come on for free and do your thing on the radio. So that's where I started, because Thomas encouraged me, and Kern, just like Marvin heard you, Marvin heard me and had me come over to work with him on WMUZ.
Right.
And the rest is history.
I remember that.
So what we're seeing here is how camaraderie and not jealousy and not envy, because there's a lot of that going on, and family makes all the difference. Eric, go ahead, because you got some names. Give us some names.
I'm going to give you a couple of them, and I have to. I'm really going to shout out that Kern Brantley. Without Kern's influence and without our brotherhood, Kern helped me a whole lot in this game. I learned a lot. A lot of stuff that I played was not really what Tommy. I said, Kern, what you think? And he would tell me what he thought I should be doing. But through Kern with the wine is just in one night I played with Take Six, Stevie Wonder, Whitney Houston. You remember that night?
Mm-hmm.
BB and some Christmas show. You know, just crazy stuff start like that. But I did Stephanie Mills for some years. I did Shaka Khan for a few years. Played with Patti LaBelle a little bit. Then I played with, I was actually Aaliyah's music director for a good minute. And then I did a couple of plays, and that's always full of stars. And
right.
Yeah, Motown.
The whole Motown. Well, we got to shout out Kim Weston. Kim Weston is like a music
Kim
mama
Weston,
to me. She taught me so much about the business, which is actually where I met Kern. So, and the list goes on.
And I'm sorry, man, but I got to give
Escape, the Brat. We can keep going. Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I got to give Whitney.
What you talking about interrupting?
Whitney Houston a shout out. You know, for us no more, but I got a chance to tour with her and stuff. So.
And let's not forget Michael Brooks, Bishop Michael Brooks.
Oh yeah, commission all day, bro. Commission all day.
My
brother,
Fred Hammond.
Fred,
yes, sir.
My man, Fred.
Love Fred.
My brother.
So
I went through the whole Winans family.
They had like whole Winans family.
But I mean, me and Darryl talk about this all the time. Before there was a commission, there was a group called Saved. Darryl was the leader of that group, and he had. That. You remember that? Do you remember who was all in it? Most of the commission.
Yeah.
So he's the roots for that. Yeah.
Before the Winans, it was a group called the Testimonial Singers.
Yes.
All
that from Detroit. Well, let me change gears for a minute, because for years there's been the conversation about playing secular music. Are you supposed to be playing the Lord's music? You're not supposed to be doing. Why is you out there playing that rock and roll? Talk to me about your journey and making the decisions that you've made as professional, career, well-paid musicians on both sides of the street.
Well,
And
what
what-
Word
really
you said
made
was
me go.
career. Go ahead, Kern.
Yeah, for secular for me, like, and Eric noticed because he was around then. I was a father when I was like 17.
Wow.
I had to get some money.
Yeah.
Sure, no doubt.
My daughter, her mother, she was born one week, she was living with me the next week.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to get a job. I'm playing at the church. They was taking what they call an appreciation. I say, okay, what's
Once a
this
year.
appreciation thing? Everybody putting in some dollars, some money for me. I said, you know what? I need to get a gig. And then, like I said, that's when Tommy came into my life. Then from Tommy to Marvin, then from Marvin to Teddy Riley. When I got to Teddy Riley, them checks start getting like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I said, whoa, I'm kind of liking it over here. So yeah, that's kind of, and then because that's you, when you become an adult, you have responsibilities.
But how
So
did
you
it,
can't live off of an appreciation.
right, but how did,
Once
or
a year.
did it affect your walk with Christ?
Now,
It opened me up. You know, it's so funny. God has always protected me
Yeah.
on the road.
Real talk.
And being with Tommy, I already knew right from wrong.
Mhm.
You know, I knew right from wrong. I knew it's always that fork in the road.
Yeah.
And you can go over there to the party.
Real
And that's
talk.
even I tell my guys, never get caught in the hype. You
Real
know,
talk.
and Eric, you know who I worked for. You know,
so,
and never get caught in
don't end
that.
up on those
Like,
videos.
yep. So I always knew when that line come, you know, like I said, the devil show up at the party at 11:30. So about 11:15, you go to your room. You gonna leave.
Yeah.
You don't go with them. You don't follow. You don't be at the club drinking. You don't be out and running the street. You you get your money and you go and go home. So that for me, you know, God always protected me. You know, I remember when Biggie Smalls got murdered in L.A. We was the band. We was there, but we went to the room that night. We decided we're not going to the party. They said, y'all want to come with Gerald? Here, no, we ordered pizza. We got an Xbox. We're going to our room.
Okay.
Teddy called us, hey, y'all, where y'all at? Oh, we at the room. Good. So we always go to the room. So you just have to know how to separate yourself. You can make your money. You can go out there. It is, you know, Whitney Houston was here, Bobby Brown, this person, that person. You just have to know, you know when to walk away.
Yep. Man, where that's concerned, where I am, Daryl, and I can tell this in a true story. Kern was my boy, and Kern was doing every gig under the sun, all of those gigs. And I even doubted myself as far as my abilities and my chops and stuff. And I finally got up enough nerve to ask him. And it was at my mother's service. So I owe this to my mother. I said, Kern, man, why don't you never call your boy, man, when you got these gigs? You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Kern said, man, your mother said she would kill me if I ever called you to a show to come do a show. I said, well, I couldn't say nothing but you right, because she told me she would kill me too. But I said that made all the sense in the world. But I was able, because see, most of those people got gospel roots than the older people, you know, like Patty and Chuck and all of them, and you know, they understand. But Kern's right. You just got a choice, man. I fronted a Prince show for like 5 years. I was playing in the Prince band for 5 years. And I know Prince's stuff like the back of my hand, which is why I was able to do it. So I looked at that as a blessing, as God granting me the desires of my heart without me having to jump the fence. And I had a motto, Daryl, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I never was gonna do anything that would not let me come home to my mother's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And I live by that motto. And that's what kept me safe.
Yeah.
I think for the three of us, for sure, more than anything, Jesus went in and he went out. he dealt with everybody. You know, you can find him with most of the sinners, the craziest sinners, and he would be totally okay. And I think that for the three of us, I think he left us with that kind of anointing where we can go in,
Right.
and he trusts us with his people, and he trusts that we won't misrepresent him.
Right.
So I tried all gospel at one point, and I ended up on welfare, and that just didn't really make much sense to me.
No.
You know, so I got a call.
Really?
I got a call from Donald Lawrence, who's a dear friend of mine from here, and he called me, Daryl, for the Stephanie Mills gig, and he asked me. He gave me the number of what it would cost, what it would pay, and how long we would be doing it. It wasn't a hard decision. It was just common sense.
Yeah.
You know, but if I don't play guitar, am I saved? If I stop tomorrow, am I saved?
Yeah.
My guitar never was the catalyst on whether or not, with my relationship with the Lord. So I'm good with it. I don't have a problem with it.
Jesus didn't become a thief. He became as a thief. So he could hang out with the thieves and get them straight.
I want to escalate this conversation just a little bit. Recently, there was a comment made by a gospel artist, and in that comment, the statement was made referring to God as a he or a she or an it. And when I heard it, and I don't know if you guys heard the quote or saw the clip, but when I heard it, it said to me, are we getting so big in what we're doing in our artistry until we can't submit to basic, everyday meat and potatoes teaching? And do we have the need to submit? Or can we just flap our wings and go ahead on and do our thing and interpret Christianity apart from what the word says? Because God ain't no she. God ain't no it. Somebody help me out.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't participate. I don't participate in those kind of discussions. There, let me tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's an individual thing, and I never cared what he was, as long as he was God. See, and I say he because it makes sense to say it in the sentence in the English language. But
it's in the Word of God.
Yeah,
as far as what it is.
Exactly.
To me, that's the bottom line. It's in the Word of God.
Yeah.
But y'all come on, give me some pushback. Maybe I'm too traditional.
I honestly.
No, that's what I mean. That's what the word says. It also says he's a spirit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So
What gender is a spirit?
Thank you.
Right. And what does it matter?
And what does it matter?
Well,
for somebody who does not have a mother,
yeah,
he's going to be a mother to him.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
But
he don't have a father. He's gonna be a father to him.
Right. But does that? I'm still pushing y'all. So I want to add some gravy to the conversation. All of those things are true, and God is all of those things. But does that mean it's okay to refer to him in a feminine gender, knowing that we have cross-dressers, transsexuals, and some everybody else who will be legitimized by that kind of recognition? I'm pushing y'all. Give me some pushback.
Ooh, I didn't know you was coming down the street.
Y'all know this is Daryl Ford. Y'all know what I do.
I got to change my shoes.
Yeah, right.
Put some boots on for that.
See, because we're living in a day where interpretive faith is becoming the order of the day. We're living in a day where preachers, and I'm going to say it because I don't care. You have like Les Brown preachers who preach positivity, but I don't see no word to support what you're saying.
Yeah.
If the word don't support it, I'm sorry. Hold on. And this is where I stand, and I'm not asking nobody else to stand with me. But if the word don't support what you're doing, I don't support what you're doing. Flat out.
Exactly.
I don't care how good it is. I don't care how positive it is. I don't care how many shoes you buy. I don't care how many bikes you give away. If you don't have the gospel undergirding what you do, it's something else.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just say this, and it's good that we're all musicians on here only.
Mhm.
Well, I did the rap thing, but that don't count. But we've played in this industry for a genre and for a group of people who have been accepted for what they are and what they believe in. And I'm not calling no names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And they believe, and they're stars, basically, in this industry. And we've played for them all. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing in the gospel music industry that's accepted without question, you know? So it's almost silly to why they sweating it now when it been that way since day one.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about
Huh?
specifically? What do you? You lost me. Maybe.
Okay, I'm talking about the he/she thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all been that way since day one, most of them. And I'm not calling no names, and I'm not saying Mikey did this or that and another. But Mikey
y'all got to be careful.
Is.
Y'all got to be careful because y'all got to work. I understand that, but I'm taking a stand as a preacher, as a pastor, and to those that are watching, that it is not okay to make up your own faith.
No.
It's not okay to make up your own belief system. And because of all of the disparate voices, that means different voices that are a part of the Christian platform now. I don't even want to call them Christian, because give me some word. And then we can get, but you know what? I got off the subject. I'm sorry.
Daryl, can I say that?
Please.
God, the only commandment he has for us concerning people is that we should love them.
Absolutely.
That's our only gig for us to love them, and specific to the. I mean, you know, I don't know each person's journey. I don't know what they did, but I can say this. I can say that if you were to negate everything that somebody who was battling with that particular spirit, you know, if you negated everything they done in the gospel music industry,
there would be no gospel music.
You can put you can put the rest of it in your pocket.
Exactly.
There would be no gospel music.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
my job is just to love. My gig is to love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my gig. I can't judge them. I can think what I want to think, but I cannot condemn them.
Exactly.
But see, you're absolutely right. My bringing up this subject was not to to objectify any particular sexual preference. Let's just put it where it is. That was not my reason for introducing the subject was because leadership.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call her name, Yolanda Adams.
Yeah.
She was on a national broadcast talking about he, she, it as God. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a major problem.
Okay, that's a problem. I'm not talking about, because listen, one of my best friends had a sexual identity issue. And if I were to name him, you would know who I'm talking about. But that never came into play with our relationship, because he was a loving cat, man. He was a good guy. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Yolanda Adams, who has an opportunity to speak to the whole world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to say when that microphone is in your mouth? I ain't talking about nobody else. Eric, your point is spot on. Love God.
And love them. Now I got to love you.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the commandment for me to love you.
Absolutely. That's why I made the point I just made.
How can I love a God that I've never seen
And I can't
And I
stand
love
you.
you, who I see every
I
day.
see every day. Absolutely right. But
That's that, yeah.
but
That's
in
hypocritical.
that, but in that loving, how far do you go?
If I'm being honest and true to the word, I ain't got to back down on what I believe and what I know that the words say.
Exactly.
That's between you and him.
That's it.
That's between y'all, man. I get you, man. Hey, man. I love you, boy. I love you, man. Keep writing them good songs. Keep playing that piano.
And it's up to you when
And
you have
really,
the opportunity to speak up for your God.
Really,
Yeah,
Daryl, and
yeah.
with that, you had to have that mindset that my brother Eric is talking about for us to play as
Oh, for
long as
sure.
we've been playing
For
for as
sure.
many people as we played for. You
For
know,
sure.
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
you can't be out there putting your foot down as if you're the gospel. You know what I mean? You got to let everybody do their thing, and you know, you deal with them six strings and keep it moving.
Gotcha.
You keep it
Now,
moving.
you don't
yeah.
tolerate it. You don't join in it. You can definitely stand and say, I'm not about this or that or the other.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I don't come. You can't
Yeah.
come in
No,
with,
because
with an attitude, man.
you guys are workmen. You guys are workmen.
Yeah,
It's
we're
it's a
working.
job.
I mean, I toured with Lady Gaga for 6 years.
Man,
Yeah.
exactly,
Enough said.
exactly. That's enough
That's
said.
it right there.
Gentlemen, I've kept you longer than I had anticipated, but what an absolute joy
Man,
this has been having you
this
guys
is
come.
one podcast I'm gonna go back and rewatch. That's for sure.
Right. Right.
And what I'd like for you
Yeah,
guys to
man.
do,
Thank you, Derek.
I want to thank you, Kern, all the way from China, where it's
Thank you.
about it's
Representing.
about 5 o'clock in the
Linwood
morning
to
there.
China.
Almost
you.
breakfast time.
Mikey, I want to thank
Ni
you.
hao.
In spite
Yeah,
of
appreciate
the fact that you're a Tennessee Titans fan, and I think they're 1-11.
I don't know. I'm a New York Giants fan, baby. New York football Giants.
Whatever. He's a Detroit Lions expatriate, and for you, Eric, I want to thank you, man, for just being a hometown, all y'all hometown cats doing it big all around the country. Only thing I ask, can we do this again real soon?
Absolutely.
Let's
Absolutely.
make a series out of it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to also mention that this platform is being provided in concert with DigiPraise. And you need to go to all of your platforms and check out DigiPraise music. It's brand new. It's AI. It's cutting edge. And my girl, Kimberly Lewis, is doing it very, very big and doing it very, very well. You're going to be hearing some AI music right here on Spotlight. And let me ask y'all that right quick. Is AI music here to stay? Let me ask y'all that.
Without a
course.
doubt.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Like I said, over here in China, they're so advanced. But
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate the fact that here they are using real musicians.
Yeah.
Still, we're an orchestra. I have I think this band was like a 14-piece band, and they're still selling physical records. And but they're advanced in technology with everything.
And AI, AI just makes that easier to do.
It's just another tool. It's just another tool. I can remember us having the same conversation about drum machines. I can remember having the same conversation about Pro Tools.
Man.
Yeah.
About TV.
You remember?
About TV.
Yeah. About sampling.
TV was the demon tube.
Yeah,
all of
TV.
that.
So this is just the next phase in life.
Yeah, this is just next phase. If you learn how to use it, it'll work for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna throw some names out there. I said I was gonna quit. Let me throw some names for y'all guitar players. Jimi Hendrix.
All day.
But he wasn't a great guitar player. He was a great innovator.
Wes Montgomery.
Amazing.
All day.
Amazing.
All day.
All day.
Les Paul.
Absolutely. They
Yeah.
named the guitar.
Yeah, creative.
They named him number one guitar after him.
You know what? Les Paul is the one that invented multi-track recording.
And he also invented the electric guitar.
I didn't
Did you know that? Multi-track recording.
Yeah.
Les Paul did the first 4-track recording ever.
And he had one of the first electric guitars ever, too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
George Benson.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
amazing.
Oh yeah, the
All
king.
day.
Amazing.
Living
Fastest
legend.
hands you're gonna see in a long time.
Living legend.
What's the new boy? What is his name out of Chicago? Play the guitar. Jonathan McReynolds.
Jonathan's a good singer. He's a good artist. He plays decent guitar, but
Okay.
you don't put that with
don't put him
Wes
in that.
Montgomery, sir.
Oh, okay. So
Nah,
let me
nah,
let me
that's the holy grail.
let me delete his name.
Those are trendsetters.
Yeah, that's the holy grail.
But he's
right
very good. Jonathan, he's my friend. He's very, very good. But that's not, that ain't the
Yeah.
same thing.
Israel Houghton.
Absolutely, he's a great guitar player, but he ain't the same.
Great.
You said Wes and George Benson, and you
I know what I said. I'm just going down. I'm just going down the list. I'm just going down the list.
You'll be
No.
blaspheming
down.
now. Don't be blaspheming.
Exactly.
Fellas, this has been
My
awesome.
Jonathan is Jonathan DuBose. That's my Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Oh,
Jonathan
yeah.
Both, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah,
That's my
yes,
No doubt.
yes.
We're gonna have Jonathan back on the
My
show.
mentor.
He was
That's
supposed
my
to be
mentor.
here, but we're going to get him back. But
Yeah.
gentlemen, just give us an idea of some of the things that you're doing or that you've got coming up that we want to look out for. Kern, how long you going to be in China?
I'm going to be here until April, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to be. I've been working with Bootsy Collins, so that's been great work. Cause that was one of my heroes as a kid growing up. Bootsy is on bass, and I'm planning on coming back to China. I mean, and opening inroads for guys like Eric and Mike and other musicians that want to come over here, because I think that China is the future of music in the world.
No doubt.
Nice.
I really
Wow.
do. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
This is where I work at over here.
I got you.
No doubt.
Mike,
Y'all see
Man,
all that?
Mikey, what you got?
I'm just excited because I'm finally playing the music that I've wanted to play all my life, and nobody's whispering in my ear that it's too much or it's too loud or they're scared of that or that's too sounding too. And since I got this new gear, it's allowed me to open myself up to a whole nother level of performance and playing. So like the stuff you heard, I sent you some new stuff. So I'm working on the EP now.
Absolutely. It's sweet too.
And unfortunately, Kern and Eric, peep this. It may end up being mostly musicians album, but it ain't gonna be no jazz on it. It's because imagine if Stevie Ray Vaughan made an instrumental album.
That's gonna be great.
Woo!
That's
That's
gonna be
the kind
great.
of album it is. Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so,
And,
yes, sir.
and we'll be able to get that on all streaming platforms?
yeah, it's gonna be Kimberly. Kimberly is administrating it. So whatever
Cool.
platform she's gonna put it on is gonna
Great.
be the bomb.
Eric,
And
what
I'm
you
gonna
got going?
send personally to Eric and Kern.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'm working on a guitar record, man, but mainly I'm teaching some of the younger cats out here in the music industry how to diversify their money and start getting into passive income. So when the calls start slowing down and the gigs start drying up, you got something else.
That's good. Well, gentlemen,
That's
this has
good.
been my absolute pleasure. I can't tell you what a dream come true this is for me, because
Bless you, Daryl.
I
Thank
have,
you.
I have been blessed
Thank
by
you so much,
each
Daryl,
of
bringing it
you
together with my brothers.
individually and collectively. I have been blessed. My
Daryl,
life has,
most important to me is you remembered us.
man,
Absolutely.
please.
You remembered us, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's
Yep.
most important.
It's so important for us and for the respect you guys showed, my mentor, Thomas Whitfield. To me, that was worth this whole interview. So thank you, gentlemen.
All right,
I want to encourage you to repost. We're going to make sure you get copies of the interview so you can repost to your social media, because we want to blow this up, and I need your help to blow this up. So thank you all, and thank you all for watching. Tune us in for the next edition. Don't forget, Pop-up praise comes on a regular recurring basis. So be sure you check out your social media streams for the next edition of that. Thanks to my executive producer, Kimberly Lewis, for doing it big and huge like nobody does it. As a matter of fact, I call her Kimmy Kim Kim. Somebody say, why you call her Kimmy Kim Kim? Because one Kim ain't enough. She's K to the third power.
Wow.
God bless.
The gospel Oprah.
Thank you.
She the gospel Oprah.
All right, man. Y'all
All
be
right.
good.
God bless
All
y'all.
right, man. Love y'all, man. I
All
love
right,
y'all.
Bless y'all. All right.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace.
Kimmy Kim.
Spotlight
I
shine.
was hoping she'd get on camera.
Can't ignore. It's an experience and so much more.